Welcome back to our last video in the emotional awareness area of depression. And again, hopefully these videos help you to decrease your depression and maybe decrease the behaviors around the depression where our needs aren't being met or where we're not getting what we want out of life. And hopefully we increase the healthy behaviors that we have or develop some new ones so that we can get what we want out of life and we can be where we want, really just be the best version of ourselves. And so with this being the final episode in our emotional awareness series, you've made it through some powerful steps, learning how to name what you feel, check in without judgment, track emotional patterns, and explore the deeper meaning behind our feelings. And today we're going to bring it all together. And this episode is going to discuss two key things, and that is expanding on our emotional vocabulary so you can express your inner world with more clarity and hopefully confidence, and resetting with self-compassion so you can hold space for your feelings without shame or pressure to get better fast. I think a lot of the videos we talk about self-compassion, and that one is really important because we often give it to others and forget to give it to ourselves. So this work isn't about emotional perfection. It's about becoming emotionally present with yourself and with others. So let's finish strong and gently at the same time. So what is one way we can start building our emotional vocabulary and resetting with self-compassion? Well, we can do just that. Why emotional vocabulary matters, right? And so let's start with a question. When you say you feel sad, what kind of sad is it that you're feeling? Here are some examples. Are you lonely, discouraged, abandoned, tender, exhausted, grieving? The more specifically you can describe your emotion, the more you understand how you feel, even by yourself. So research shows that people with a broader emotional vocabulary called emotional granularity are better at managing stress, communicating needs, and recovering from emotional lows. And it's like upgrading your emotional toolkit is how you can look at it. You move from using a dull tool labeled sad to a precise, intentional one labeled isolated or hopeless, one that gives you direction and choice. And this is especially important for depression, where emotions can feel overwhelming or flat. More language means more self-awareness and more capacity for healing. I know that when I used to see kids in person and I had an emotional face chart, they would often choose other emotions than just the basic ones like sad, mad, glad, happy. They also really like having other emotional vocabulary choices to choose from when they need to describe how they feel for that day. So what's another area where we can build emotional vocabulary and reset with self-compassion? Well, we can practice expanding our vocabulary. So how do you build emotional vocabulary? Here is a simple practice for you. Each week, choose one emotional word you're curious about. Some examples are resentful, tender, hopeless, ashamed, content, and then try these steps. Define it. What does it mean to you? Use it in a journal entry. Write a few sentences. I felt what? Resentful, tender, hopeless when something occurred. Locate it in your body. Where do you physically experience this feeling? And reflect on what it needs. Is it asking for space, connection, rest, reassurance? You're not just learning new words, you're learning new ways to understand and to care for yourself. So you can even create a personal emotional word bank, like a vocabulary list, but this one's for your heart. So what's another area where we can build emotional vocabulary and reset with self-compassion? Well, we reset with radical self-compassion. Now that you've built awareness of vocabulary, here's the most important part of it. You must meet your emotion with compassion, because even with the right words, healing doesn't happen through critique, it happens through care. So try saying, it's okay that I feel this. This emotion doesn't define me. I'm allowed to be in process, and I'm doing the best I can, and that does matter. So self-compassion is the reset button for emotional overwhelm. It says, you don't have to fix this all today. You just have to stay with yourself. And try this when emotions feel too loud for you. Place a hand over your heart or your cheek. Take 3 deep breaths and whisper something kind to yourself, even if you don't fully believe it yet. Because the truth is, healing starts with how we talk to ourselves in the moments that hurt the most. Self-compassion, again, is such an important tool for us to use, one that we, again, freely give to others, but somehow withhold for ourselves. We should probably start changing that. So let's recap on this video. We learned to expand our emotional vocabulary to bring clarity and self-understanding. Practice one new feeling each word each week and define it, journal it, and embody it. And most importantly, reset your nervous system with gentleness and not judgment. So emotional awareness isn't about being happy all the time. It's really just about being honest with ourselves, being present and kind to yourself through all your feelings. You've done something powerful by walking through these videos, and you've started building a language for your emotions, and that's a lifelong tool for healing. This isn't the last video in depression. We're going to have some more areas to kind of deep dive into. We'll hopefully help, again, decrease some of our depression stuff and increase some of our healthier behavior stuff that we have. So here's the comment section. It's your turn to comment if you're building your emotional vocabulary, if you're struggling with this, you've already done it, maybe you're in the middle. And what about self-compassion? Do you have self-compassion for yourself? Or do you struggle with this when it comes to yourself but not to others? And if you're having a hard time figuring out what to put, here's a question for you. What's one emotional word that's helped you feel more understood lately? So thank you for showing up for yourself, one word, one breath, and one feeling at a time. You are growing, and you're definitely not alone. Here's the part where I get to talk about the journals and the children's book that I have created. In a world that moves too fast, what if you could create a space to come home to yourself and help your children do the same? So start with the heart, with the self-love, discovery, and discipline journal. It's your guided path to clarity, purpose, and showing up for the life you truly want. And when anxiety rises, well, meet yourself with compassion. The Anchored in Kindness journal helps you calm your nervous system, understand your patterns, and find peace, one breath, one page at a time. And for those little hearts that you love the most, meet Luna and Bravion the lion, a magical story that helped children find their courage, listen to their hearts, and trust their own glowing spark. A story of bravery, self-trust, and emotional wisdom, with worksheets at the end to help your little ones themselves understand more about who they are, and are they brave, and do they have their own courage. And so if you liked this video or any of the videos in the series, please like, subscribe, and share with those who may need them.